Hello, Ohio, Texas, New Brunswick. What's good in New Brunswick? Hello, California, Bulgaria, welcome. I don't know if this is a time that works for a lot of you folks, but I was feeling pretty depressed. So I was like, I remember when I used to do these lives when I was feeling depressed. And I was like, okay, let's do a live. Um, I've been feeling pretty shit today. The day didn't start off great. I got up earlier slightly than usual, and I was on my way to visit grandma earlier than usual, and then I got to grandma's place, and then I was like, oh, I did not bring with me all of the food that I cooked for grandma. So I walked back, picked up the food, walked back to grandma, and then as soon as I walked into grandma's floor in the facility, I just hear her like yelling, somebody come save me, nobody's coming. She's like almost sobbing in the yelling. And I walk into the room and she's like so upset. And I said, "What's wrong, Grandma?" And she said, "They took my pants, they took all the clothes I put on the bed in the night, and I've hollered for them all morning and nobody's come." And like 2 minutes later, I see hot pink fabric behind her underneath her butt. And I'm like, "What's that, Grandma?" And it was her pants. Um, and I tried to explain to Grandma, like, you can't just scream all the time for attention for small things because there's only so few nurses to go around for all of these patients. And if you scream for the littlest things, then nobody will come when you actually scream for something big. Like the boy who cried wolf. Um, and she says, "Well, I don't scream for small things. I only scream about important things." And I'm like, in the grand scheme of things, Grandma, I don't think missing pants when you have 3 pairs in your drawers and like countless pairs in your closet that you've locked up so that other people don't go in, to be a big deal. But I guess for Grandma, that's a big enough deal. I am trying to not be stubborn and obstinate in my refusal to see things from Grandma's point of view, but it is also very difficult to see things from her point of view because she is very needy, and I get why she's needy because she's really miserable and lonely and she wants to be home, which is a concept and an ideal and not an actual concrete place and situation she can be in. And I've spoken with my uncle in Beijing about this, and I said, like, even if we do get Grandma back, despite all of the zero COVID policies that China has in place and the impossible flight patterns to work out and all of these health code tests, like, even if we do get Grandma back to China, I'm not sure she's going to be happy there. I'm not sure she's going to be any happier there than she is here. She'll be happy for like a month. So that is what's going on mentally today. Hi, Kazakhstan. You're from Woodside. Very cool. How is Kazakhstan? Hi, North Carolina. Did I defy social norms? I try my best every day. I do not always succeed. Um, is ARK Arkansas, Shannon? Or is that someplace else? Hello, SoCal. It is weather already. And actually, another reason why I'm feeling pretty shitty today is because um, the temperatures have dropped almost like 25 degrees Fahrenheit in the past couple of days. And I think I've probably been underdressed. And I did get my second booster and I got my flu shot, but I do think I might be getting a little bit sick after a whole shooting budget eats and Grandma and change in weather and just me being overall sleep deprived. I don't think my body is handling it very well. But we're here, and I will not be cooking today, as the title has made very clear, so I hope you're not hoping to see any cooking today. I need a break from cooking. But I do have this suit jacket that I love dearly, and it came supremely padded in the shoulders, and it is a wonderful jacket, but I just wish that I don't look so boss lady in it. So I'm going to try to use my seam ripper, and I'm going to try to rip out the seams and take out the shoulder pads and then hopefully sew it back up. Yeah, I don't have vitamin C. Maybe I'll eat an apple. I've already had an orange and some strawberries today, so that's that. It is a gorgeously fuchsia pink jacket with gold buttons. So it's a lovely jacket. I just need the shoulders to be a little more modest, you know. It's not a bad look. I just need it to be less. I need it to be less. Yeah, news reporter. Has anyone seen France with Léa Seydoux? I adore her, and I thought that movie was pretty amazing. It's a very slow burn. It has a lot of fun moments embedded in it, but you have to have a little bit of patience and time to sit down with it. Very Cruella de Vil. Yes, I do have tea, actually. I'm going to drink some tea. And I'm realizing right now, maybe the stream is a little bit laggy. I'm sorry. I tried to check for lagginess before I actually go live. Sometimes it lags on my phone and I can see it and catch it before I go live, but I just have to deal with it. Congratulations on surviving Hurricane Flo. That tea kind of smells like rubber tires. Is it acid wash? It could be. I found these pair of jeans at a thrift store in Bushwick somewhere for $6. It was 100% cotton. It doesn't really fit my butt very well, unfortunately. It's not like a sexy pair of jeans. It's just like a solid pair of jeans for $6. And the brand is PacSun, which I think is like a surfer brand. Very California, kind of bleached blonde hair sort of vibe. And I think growing up in middle and high school, like, you know, all the pretty white girls had some sort of PacSun going on in their wardrobe, and I never had it, and I was like, well, $6, time to relive my middle school dreams. There is a chance that I end up ruining this suit jacket forever because the seams are very tight, and I am not very masterful when it comes to these things, but I ain't got nothing better to do today on my energy level, so this is what we're doing. The rubber tire taste does seem to show up in several dishes. Yeah, very much. Hi, Alaska. Oh man, I think possibly one of the last places my mom ever visited was Alaska. She went to see is it the Arctic Lights? I forget what you call them. The beautiful, beautiful phenomenon of moving paints across the sky. But yeah, if you guys have anything that you want me to rant about, drop it in the chat. Northern Lights, yes. I have not seen the new Dahmer thing on Netflix. It seems very creepy, honestly, and I don't even. What is up with all these shows about like serial killers and uh, corporate liars and fraud and scams and just like I don't get it. I don't get it. It seems very hot. Very in vogue. This is a very intense shoulder padding. Wow. Where do you end? Where do you begin and where do you end? They say women love watching that stuff. I guess I'm not a woman then. It would be really awesome if I could suddenly discover more gender queerness in my life, honestly. I think I would be a much happier person if I could shed my woman identity. There's a lot of binding that goes on with gender norms. Especially for a person who doesn't really want to get married, have kids, and all of that kind of normal blueprint flowchart of life. I just feel like, what the fuck is going on? What up, dude? Jesus, that was a long honk. Like, I don't know if she's too passe to cite now, but Judith Butler did say that, you perform gender, you perform identity, and so when the core tenets of womanhood is centered around family production values, and when you choose to, as an individual, abandon those family production values, then how much of a woman are you? And I'm not saying that in a bad way. I'm just saying it's fine if you're not a woman. All the power to you. This looks like a dinky old pad, not gonna lie. This is the crappiest shoulder pad I've ever seen, but it was very well fitted and suited for the jacket, for sure. What genre of films do I like? I tend to like either dark comedies or drama, so top 3 favorite movies. I mean, it's gonna be biased towards like more modern or contemporary or new stuff, but I would say the first time I realized that I had a movie change my life perspective was Memento by Christopher Nolan. I had to watch that movie like 3 times and read the Wikipedia article 7 to 8 times before I understood 85% of the movie. And I just thought it was an amazingly edited movie that wasn't trying to do anything formulaic, and was so weird and jarring and like perverse and fucked up, like really fucked up, touched up upon a lot of deep psychological shit, which Nolan is great at. I wish he did it more, but I think he's kind of sunken into Hollywood a little bit too much. My next favorite is The Lobster. I've always said that if I had a best friend who was a filmmaker who decided that they would make a film just for me, it would be The Lobster. So for sure. And then I would say another movie that like in recent years really stuck with me and I found entrancingly beautiful but also disturbing, like deeply depressing but poetically so. We got spammies in the chat. Oh, only Putin didn't find girl with us. Damn, you really couldn't get Putin? A girl? But my third movie off the top of my head would be burning. It's very existentially charged. Um, but it's shot so gracefully. Um, so I would recommend that one. Let me try to sew this side back up before I tear the other side open. I'll be back, Freddy. Scrolling back up before we got spammed. This jacket I got somewhere probably in like East Williamsburg, maybe a while ago, maybe thrifting with Nez or on my own. I can't be sure anymore. It's been a while. How's work going? Cake Clock asks. I'm honing in on 2 different job offers. Congratulations on having 2 job offers. Work is fine. Work is just I continue trying to be a good girl, but I'm still not letting people step all over me. So I'm speaking up when I have to, but I'm trying not to cause trouble. Whether or not other people find trouble within interpreting my words, I can't control that. So I don't really. Emily says, I just read The Black Tides of Heaven by J.Y. Young, a non-binary author. It's fantasy and has cool takes on gender. I'm not really a fantasy person. I haven't really read fantasy since maybe middle school. I just can't get into it, but that's cool. I like different cool takes on gender. Alright, so now I'm getting caught up on the comments. Yes, low energy day indeed, Raven Star. Yes, I do mean the Korean movie Burning. It is directed by a Korean director who also directed maybe a decade prior a movie called Poetry, which is also a very deeply moving, poetic movie that touches on very dark issues. It centers around content warning, sexual assault. It centers around a story of a girl who commits suicide because of an incident, and it revolves around her grandma kind of trying to figure out what went on. But great director. He's self-taught, and I really find his films to be elegiac. Is that the right word? They're very mournful, but not in a funeral procession grieving way. They're very mournful in a melancholic way. It's a very kind of soft-spoken, sweet melancholy that cannot forget its own pain, is how I would describe it. I have not seen Risk Cutters. That sounds like a dark comedy. I hope. It's a very intense title. Um, I've actually started watching a couple of episodes of The Patient, which is a new show on Hulu starring Domhnall Gleeson and Steve Carell, and I really like it so far. Unfortunately, I can't binge it quite yet because not all the episodes are out, but I hope to one day watch it all. I also can't watch dubbed. Dubbed movies are just so bad, and they just ruin the intent, I think. Like, they really fuck up the way the acting is incorporated into the direction. So, I try to avoid dubbed. Well, I don't try, I just avoid dubbed. Like, if my only option is to watch a dubbed movie, I'd probably rather not watch it. Kung Fu Hustle. Haven't seen that one yet. I don't think I have, at least. I guess I do like murder shows, but I haven't seen murder yet in the show, so it's less about the murder aspect in The Patient and more about the psychology aspect. I also would highly, highly recommend that you not watch that show while stoned. I did not have a great time. I felt everything so deeply when I was high and watching that show. I felt all the tension between all of the characters, and there's a lot of intensity, especially towards like episodes 3 and 4. It gets really a lot. So try to be sober watching that show. Freddy, you having a good day, buddy? I think he's estimated to be like 11 or 12 now. I think when we got him, they said he was about 10 based on his poor dental health. Freddy, you want to tell the people how old you are? Do you know how old you are? I I am totally sober now. I think I'm just a little tired, sleep deprived, stressed, and sick. Unfortunately, not high. Um, would be great one day to be in a healthy enough mindset to do a live while high. I think that would be very entertaining. But I'm also like really useless when I'm high. I can't do anything. Last night I didn't even get high yet, and I tried to make Aaron some pancakes from a pancake mix, and I like fucked up so bad. I don't even know what happened, but there was ghee everywhere on the stove, on the pancakes, in the sink, on the counter, on my shirt. It was a mess, and that's why I decided that today I will not be cooking. think I just need a break from the kitchen, you know? Even professional athletes must take breaks. It's funny, I think most people who think that people who work in food and are professional food makers or chefs, that they expect them to always be cooking at home and creating delicious things. But, like, honestly, a lot of the time, you just want a bag of Doritos. You get tired of that. It's work. At the end of the day, everything is work. Yes, Darwin Russell, I completely agree. Grandma, the fact that she can have the energy to scream means that she has a lot of vitality left, which is another reason why if I go in and I see her screaming, I get upset because I just feel like it's very manipulative of her to tell me that, like, she's dying and nobody's caring for her and she's been screaming half the night. But clearly she's not dying enough to not be screaming all the time. And I also understand, there's a part of me that also understands that, like, Grandma is just acting out, not because she has, like, true physical emergencies, but she probably has emotional and psychological emergencies. And that makes me sad, and that makes me have secondary emotions like anger, where I start screaming at her because, you know, a part of me realizes that there's not anything I can do for her to relieve that sadness and frustration. And that doesn't make me screaming at her right, and it doesn't make me screaming at her productive, but it is, unfortunately, at this point, just a way for me to be human. It is impossible for me to be a saint all the time. And I think when Grandma acts out enough days in a row, I just fucking lose it. Because I am not Buddha. Even Jesus flipped tables. Come on. But yeah, I just feel bad also for the nurses who have to deal with that shit all day long. I don't know how they do it, but they do it. So I give thanks to the nurses, and I try to tell Grandma to not bother people if she doesn't have to, but Grandma has a different definition of have to than I do, as it stands. Has her doctor talked about putting her on an antidepressant? I mean, listen, I've brought it up to the nurses. I was like, if you guys have any anti-anxiety medication that you can give her so that she calms down a bit and, like, causes less trouble for y'all, I'm all game for that. I am legally my grandma's medical proxy, so I can make that call if they give me the option to give her medication, but I brought it up to nurses, and David, God bless him, he's great, has not seemed very, like, oh yeah, we can do that. You know, he seemed like there was a lot more hesitation. So hey! Hey! I'm sewing! It's my project! Thank you for complimenting the sweater. This is another fine piece of clothing that Mom bought for me before she passed. I wore it only a couple of times because I thought it was way too beautiful to wear it all the time. I wore it to the gym yesterday because it was fucking cold, and I was like, I have to wear all this shit that I never wore before because I didn't want to ruin them. Fuck that. Ruin everything. Wear it. So it is Wonderful. I don't remember if it's 100% cotton. Let me check for you. It is 95% cotton and 5% cashmere. Classic mom. She loved her cashmere. This is by Under Armour. So I'm not sure how on sale she got it, but it couldn't have been cheap to begin with if it's Under Armour and a cashmere cotton blend. No, I totally understand that, like, her agitation isn't good for anyone, and I feel like if it continues to be this bad, then I will have to bring it up again. Hey, don't do that. I'm fixing my clothes. You silly bean. He's gonna tear this jacket apart. Freddy, do you mind? Hey, do you mind? Can I finish? Hi, Nalco. Have a good gig. I hope you break all the legs. By the way, Nalco, I used your gift of the golden kitty spoon on this episode of Budget Eats, so keep an eye out for that. Thank you so much for it. It's adorable. I love just eating all of my nut butters with it. It hangs onto the side of the jar like it's going to wait for me to finish the whole jar like I'm going to do. Hi, Turkey. I hope you are having a great day too. What time is it in Turkey right now? Yeah, if any of you notice that this thread is very thick, yeah, it is. It's basically like double-stranded twine, almost like cotton twine that I got from Michael's one year. I just do all my sewing with it. Don't ask me why. I don't have a rhyme or reason. I just like it. It's thick, it's sturdy, it rips through thin material, so not very practical for all sewing needs, but you know what? It's what I got. It's what I'm going to use. Alright, what else can we talk about? Is there anything else you guys want to discuss while I try not to sew my hand into this jacket? 10:30 p.m. Hi, Prague. What up, Florida? Oh, wow. That's a huge time difference to be working across the world. Hi, Freddy. You coming back? You want to get back on the chair? There you go. Good boy. How's the HR thing going? Do you expect any movement from HR? Shoot this week went pretty okay, I think. As good as I could have hoped. So, I guess I'm thankful for that. I'm glad you like watching the show, and thank you for watching. It's truly a phenomenon that I think I was not expecting. Oh, is there also padding in the other part that I didn't take out? Fuck. It's okay. I'll try it on. We'll see. So this one is without the shoulder. My left side is going to be without the shoulder pad. Alright. And the right side still has a shoulder pad. So you can see it's a lot more proud. And this one is just like a lot more slack and relaxed. Which is more comfortable for me. I don't like having the look of always having my shit together, you know? Why is there no peanut butter at Trader Joe's? I don't know. Why is there no peanut butter at Trader Joe's? That seems bad. Is supply chain that bad, or are we just hoarding now? It is, I would say this is fuchsia. It's definitely not red, but it is very rich in the color. For shoresies. I made a tofu disaster. Tofu was mushy and tasted like nothing. Alicia, tofu does not taste like anything on its own, just like mozzarella does not taste like anything on its own. You must pair it with flavorful things. Any condiment, any sauce, any spice. Use lots of oil and fat when you cook it. If you want it to have flavor, you must use fat, salt, acid and heat optional, but definitely fat and salt. So there's really no tofu secrets per se. You just have to not expect tofu to be a magical ingredient that tastes fantastic on its own. All ingredients need a little bit of help. Even peanut butter. Have you ever tasted unsalted peanut butter? Tastes kind of yuck. Hi, Netherlands. Mozzarella has a lot of flavor if melted. Yeah. So, I mean, you can technically not melt tofu, but you could grind it down into smaller pieces and then it will absorb flavor better. So you can buy firm tofu, drain it a little bit, and crumble it. And once you crumble it, it has all those nooks and crannies, more surface area. It'll soak up more flavor, more fat, making it more flavorful. Hi, Sweden. Unsalted saltines is bland, but I love it. I love saltines. No, I won't eat saltines. This is very bad. This is very bad. But yeah, Raven Star just said, I love fried tofu dipped in soy sauce, ginger, sesame oil, black vinegar, and sesame seeds. That's a lot of spices and flavor that you have to add on. So that's my main tip when cooking with tofu is you gotta give it flavor. It does not come from the tofu itself. Just like think about if you cook chicken breast. You gotta flavor that shit, girl. You gotta cook it in a lot of fat too so that it crisps up and turns golden. I actually highly recommend you Googling tofu scramble delish. Lena has a recipe that I just shot a hosted video for that I really liked. It's pretty easy and straightforward. It doesn't have a very stereotypically Asian flavor profile, so that could be fun to try out too if you're tired of, you know, tofu and sesame oil and soy sauce and ginger and all of that generically Chinese flavor combo. Where did my pad go, Freddy? Oh, here it is. I don't remember seeing this other white foam, but maybe that's the part I didn't take out. Oops. Freddy, you're judging us so hard. Do you guys remember seeing this other piece of white foam in the other sleeve? Did I not take it out? Somebody help. Hi, Arizona. Thank you for the sweater compliment. Courtesy of Mom. Okay, let me try this on before I sew it fully in so I can see that the two sides are matched. Thank you, Kate. Love the real-time fact check against my own live stream record. Appreciate it. Appreciate the work. I probably should have taken it out. It feels a little wrong, but what's done is done. All right, let's go back up. Freddy, do you promise not to claw at me? So this part. Do, 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 do. So this brand is Talbots. Does anybody know how to pronounce this properly? It is made in USA of Italian fabric, fancy, and the construction is 80% viscose rayon and 20% linen, and the lining is 100% acetate, if you're curious. Somebody told me that Talbots is like a old-time conservative girl's favorite brand. I don't know if that's true, but if so, they got great taste in fuchsia colored clothes. Hi, Poland. It's a super expensive boutique chain. Oh, I didn't know that. I paid $8 for this. I got another silk shirt in almost the same shade of magenta for $3, and I was ecstatic about it until I washed it in the laundry and all of its vibrantly pink dye ran off onto all of my whites. So it's changed my white wardrobe into all pink now, which is fine. It's mostly t-shirts. How expensive is Talbots? You guys are making it seem like it's insane. Is it actually insanely expensive? Damn. $8, baby. That's all I paid. Is it a US brand? I'm guessing it's a US brand if it's like made in the USA of Italian fabrics. I too dislike ordering what I can make at home, which is why I very rarely eat out. Wow, that is pretty expensive. Yeah, that's not within this girl's budget, for sure. Are there still stores, or is it like dead now? Is it a dead brand now? Oh, so it's not dead. They still have a website. Got it. Okay. Fascinating. Oh, it is a UK brand. Very interesting. I just thought the way that it so proudly said made in the USA would have meant it's an American brand, but you're probably right. For I know nothing. You know what's gonna happen to this jacket now that the shoulder pads are out? I'm gonna wash it like it's a normal piece of clothing and it's gonna destroy it because it's supposed to be dry clean only, but I've never spent a single cent in my life on dry cleaning, which is why all of my clothes look like shit. And also why I like to buy natural fabrics like cotton and linen, because they don't need to have prissy dry cleaning processes for the most part. And even if they do, I don't do it. Because I think it's ridiculous that I, like, for example, will thrift a jacket for $8 and then possibly spend $10 dry cleaning it. Like, that's not going to happen. Sorry. Fred, what do you think? What do you think about dry cleaning? Fred doesn't think. Do you think you could one day teach us how to make kimchi? I don't know why I've gotten so many requests to make kimchi. I think it's because I'm Asian and people associate kimchi with East Asian looking people. but I'm not Korean. I did not grow up making kimchi, so I'm not the best resource for teaching y'all how to make kimchi. There are fantastic Korean vloggers out there, and like Monchi, who's basically a household name at this point, who can teach you how to make kimchi, and they have very many videos. So I'm gonna pass on that one, but open to other ideas. It was a very weird experience I had recently. Like, Mid-Autumn Festival was recently, and there's different kinds of diversity groups at Hearst. Like, there's a LGBTQIA plus group, and there's like Latinx group, and there's an Asian Pacific Islander group. And the Asian group reached out to me and asked me to host like a cooking workshop to celebrate Mid-Autumn Festival. And they were like, we saw your mooncake video and we think it's fantastic, but it's also a 3-day process. So what do you think about doing a workshop on this other kind of mooncake variation? And it turned out to be like a Korean mooncake variation. And it's made of sticky rice and not at all like a Chinese mooncake. And I was just like completely puzzled why someone would reach out to me to do a cooking workshop on a thing that I've never cooked myself and is not actually of my ethnic background. It felt very weird to kind of be tokenized by the Asian diversity group at Hearst. It's very puzzling. I'm sure they didn't mean it that way, but when these things happen, it always just makes me wonder, how did it happen like this? You know? I don't really blame anyone per se, but it makes me question the process. No harm, no foul, except me feeling like I was tokenized by my own kind, which itself, you know, is kind of, I don't know if it's racist, but it feels very simplified to say anyone's my kind of people. But yeah, that was strange. It felt very weird. I've also never made 粽子. I tried to do like a 粽子thing on a live before. It was a complete fail. So I don't think I'm gonna touch that one. Bye, Kate. Have a good one. Chloe. Yes, I did make Chinese-style mooncakes, one type of Chinese-style mooncakes in a video for a Mid-Autumn Festival timing. And the Asian diversity group asked me to do not just a different, shorter variation in another video. Not sure if you have the full context for this, but they asked me to make a Korean confection that is usually served for Mid-Autumn Festival, but is not anything at all like a Chinese mooncake. It's not something that I grew up eating. It's not something that I've ever cooked. Hence, my puzzling reaction to why they would ask me to host such a thing. They dropped it, you know, after I explained, like, hey, I don't really have many Mid-Autumn Festival tales to share with anyone, and I don't have experience. This is not of my ethnic background or cuisine that I have experience with, so I don't think this will work out. And they said understood, and that was that. But you know, still weird. Still weird. And if you don't think it's weird and you think I'm overreacting, that's fine too. But I thought it was weird. Oh my gosh. Shoof noodle. I love that word so much, and I love the little knockoff noodles that I made. I had so much fun making those. Um, I haven't had a lot of experience with German cuisine, but I do really hope one day to visit. Yeah, I mean it is kind of it's just tokenizing, like pigeonholing, whatever you want to call it. It's just like, oh yeah, you're Asian and you celebrate Mid-Autumn Festival, so you must have experience of deeply memorable interactions concerning this holiday, and just all the assumptions of who I am based on one aspect of what I do regarding one holiday expanded to an entire repertoire of the ideal Asian person who authentically celebrates every single. I don't celebrate Chinese holidays except for maybe like Lunar New Year, and even then it's just like all about food and money. I don't know anything else that goes on in Chinese holidays, like 端午节. I don't even know what that is still. I'm not gonna say that I know all of those holidays. I really don't. They're kind of like Catholic holidays and Jewish holidays. Um, it's like culturally a part of growing up in that environment, but because I immigrated out of China when I was just 7, I didn't really grow up with those holidays. Like in America, nobody celebrates all those Chinese holidays. I would say the ethnic holidays that I grew up most exposed to beyond just like American holidays was Jewish holidays, because there would be a lot of days off, or at least like the public school system recognizes a lot of Jewish holidays. There, and then secondarily a lot of Islamic holidays too, like girls who had to fast didn't have to run in gym class, and that would be like the way for me to learn, oh, it's a special holiday for that group of people. But nobody really gave Chinese holidays any time of day in the public school system. My project is complete, and this looks kind of weird. Maybe I sewed it on. Doesn't matter now, it's done. Yay! Okay, I'm very cozy now. I'm very happy. Have you given an update about Delish? Not a lot of updates. I have not been updated about anything. I'm still working. I haven't been fired yet. I hope to not be fired, but at this rate, there's a lot of things that have been blindsided, and I'm just trying to wake up every day and go to sleep at night, Some days it's easier to do. Rosh Hashanah is tomorrow? Is that the Jewish New Year? No, let me look it up. You think I would know after living in New York for this long? All the big Jewish holidays, at least. Oh yeah, it is the Jewish New Year. See, I know something. That's cool. How long does Rosh Hashanah? Oh, 2-day. 2-day observance. Thank you so much, Wikipedia. Rosh Hashanah customs include sounding the shofar, following the prescription of the Hebrew Bible to raise a noise. Rabbinical customs include attending synagogue services, reciting special liturgy, and enjoying festive meals. See? Food holidays. We love it. Eating symbolic foods is now a tradition, such as apples dipped in honey, hoping to evoke a sweet new year. Cool. So it starts sunset September 25th and ends nightfall September 27th this year. Rosh is the Hebrew word for head. Ha is the definite article the, and Shana means year. Thus, Rosh Hashanah means head of the year, referring to the Jewish day of New Year. The more you know. I feel so much more educated. All right, are we done talking? Should I log off for the day? Or should I eat something? I don't know what to do anymore. Freddy, I am so tired. I'm so tired. I'm an old woman now. You okay?
Yeah.
Okay.
Take a little bit.
Okay. Are we both getting sick?
No, it's just big tickle.
Okay. Oh, Fred thinks you're gonna feed him.
No, I'm.
Oh, actually, it is his dinner time or his lunch time. Can you feed him? Or do you want me to?
Sure, thank you.
I'm just gonna take a sip for a bit. I'll feed Fred, I promise. What you doing, Freddy? You silly bean. Oh yes, we should take vitamins too. Freddy, did you take your vitamins yet today? Oh no, Alicia, you've not offended me at all. Sometimes it is very hard to read intonations and tones on the internet. Hi, Freddy. What a cutie. So, I'm not offended at all. Thank you for sharing your thoughts. I'm just like overall very puzzled with how people handle things in the world at large. You've been captured. Trapped in my arms. Big baby. Big fluffy belly. Big eyes. All right, Fred. This is what we're currently feeding Fred. It is very expensive. It comes out to like, we got this 30% off, and it comes out to like $2.50-ish per 3.5 ounce container. It is like double the price of at least of our last food, if not more. It might actually be more than double. But it is supposed to be renal support, and it is made with lamb, lung, and liver from Iceland. truly more expensive than Budget Eats dishes. Yeah, he's off the Daves. Because we went to the vet and his kidneys seemed to, be aging, and so we figured might as well start him on some slightly better food earlier rather than deal with more health consequences later on down the road, which will also, probably mean like more vet visits and bills and all of that. So economically speaking, if you are moneyed enough to be able to prevent your health from declining, it's probably going to end up being a better deal. I don't know why it has to come from Iceland. I don't know. Freddy. Yes. There you go, bud. Whoops. Oh, dang it. Just spilled all of my tea. Yikes. Okay, this day continues to get slightly messy. The Fred show will not pause, though. I just have a bit of a cleanup. Science Diet KD was recommended by the vet. However, it seems like such a mass-produced thing that we didn't really want to use it. So we're going to try this one out first. Freddy, where's all of my papers? You know what? Fuck it. I'm just going to use this shoulder pad to soak up my sad tea. There you go. Sorry for the tumble, y'all. Do you want any leftovers, Aaron? I guess that's a no. Alright, I'm gonna eat some apples and fruit because I really don't feel so hot. What's everyone been paying attention to this week in life? Anything good? I'm sad to report these shoulder pads don't actually absorb anything. They're just pushing the water around on the floor. It's now a slip and slide. When is Mercury not in retrograde? Eduardo, you missed the first part of the stream. It is apparent that you were tardy to this class. We will not hold it against you. But you must make up the class on your own time. In case it wasn't clear, I'm totally joking. You don't have to rewatch this boring live where I just rant about my life. Why anybody watches these after the fact boggles my mind every day. I just got a lot of dirt on Mom's sweater. I use these visitors passes to like take off fur. I get one visitor's pass every day and I never put it on my body because they all recognize me, but it is very useful for basically being a lint roller. Hi, Latvia. I've been worse. I have a visitor's pass every day because I go see grandma every day, and they make everyone take a visitor's pass when they sign in. Are we going to talk about what's happening in Iran? I don't know much about it at all, actually. But somebody sent me a DM on Instagram yesterday and was like, would you like to amplify what's going on there? And I was like, tell me what's going on there. Bad shit, internet censorship, lots of sad shit that I don't really want to know, but it's the world that we live in. Bye, Violet. Have a good time with your friend. This is a really not great apple. It came in a $2 bag at my grocery store. I don't even know what it is. It could be like a Pink Lady Fuji mix. It doesn't feel like one apple or the other. Be careful of the info you get from MSM. What's MSM? I don't even know what MSM stands for. Is that a typo of MSN? Ah, mainstream media. Got it. What are our little stream medias that we go to now? Who do we trust in these times, if anyone at all? I don't give you any news because I don't watch the news, because I'm trying to not have a mental breakdown every day. I also don't know what I can do about all of these fucked upness. Like when the DM hit my inbox, my first question was, what does amplification on social media seek to achieve? Like, what, am I actually making any sort of a difference by posting this in my stories? After what happened in the summer of 2020, the movement that BLM started, we all got so activated, and then it just fizzled out, and I just don't think anything's really going to change. So it's all dependent on how many little battles you have left in you to fight. Right now I don't have a lot left in me. But if you do, onwards, my children. Do we trust Wikipedia? here's the Wikipedia page. Death of Mahsa Amini. She was born, oh my god, how sad. She was born on September 20th, 1999, and she died September 16th. Days shy of her 23rd birthday. The cause of death is skull fracture caused by severe trauma. According to Wiki, she was arrested for not wearing the hijab in accordance with government standards. Police said she suddenly went into heart failure at a station, fell on the floor, and died after 2 days in a coma. Eyewitnesses and women who were detained with her said she was severely beaten, which, in addition to her leaked medical scans, led independent observers to diagnose cerebral hemorrhage and stroke. Hi, Latavia. It resulted in a series of large-scale protests across the country which garnered international attention, including a statement from the UN High Commissioner for Refugees putting a focus on violence against women in the Islamic Republic of Iran. Several leaders, organizations, and celebrities around the world condemned the incident as an example of the systemic abuse of women by Iran's morality police and expressed solidarity with the protesters. The U.S. Department of the Treasury furthermore imposed sanctions on morality police and Iranian leaders and various security organizations. In response to the protests, the government of Iran not only suppressed the protests, shooting protesters with birdshot and metal pellets, deploying tear gas and water cannons, which we have seen before in America, folks. Not too long ago, in fact. But also blocked access to many apps, including Instagram and WhatsApp, with limited internet accessibility to reduce protesters' ability to organize. These may be the most severe internet restrictions in Iran since 2019, when the internet was shut down completely. My laptop just died, so I'm gonna have to rely on chat here, but that's basically the gist of it. Police probably killed someone just because they wanted to kill someone, and people were like, fuck that, and protested, and the government was like, no, actually, fuck you, and shut down the protests and wiped out the internet access. We have seen this sort of chain of events in America, in the United States. We have seen this chain of events in Hong Kong. We have seen it basically all around the world. It is not just because it's an Islamic republic. It's because of power necessitating suppression. And it is an abuse. That unfortunately is all too prevalent. So, what can you do? There is apparently I just saw this on Instagram. I don't know how trustworthy it is, but I have it downloaded. It's a Firefox and Chrome extension called Snowflake. It's basically like a volunteer-run VPN service that if you install and run on your computer, you can basically act as a conduit for other people in countries where they have suppressed internet access to basically bypass whatever firewalls they have up. So if you're interested in just installing something in 10 seconds and putting it on your computer, I don't know if it's going to lead to like mass security leaks and turns out to be a malevolent thing in the end. I don't really fucking care anymore. At this point, the world can burn and we'll all be better for it. But as far as other things you can do, I don't know. We're pretty fucked. I don't really know anymore. So sorry to end on that note, but I'm gonna finish eating my apple and wish you guys a good rest of your Saturday. And oh, are you guys having a discussion in the chat that I'm not a part of? I'm gonna scroll up and read. I don't want to end the chat if you're in the middle of discussion. I'm not even seeing all the chat. Let me see. The U.S. helped set up the current government in Iran in the 1950s, so the government is also responsible for this. Listen, Great Britain really did a fucked up thing with whatever's happening between Israel and Palestine right now. I just feel like, you know, all the major world powers have had a hand in how much fuckery exists all over. It's just like we are basically inheriting and actively passing down cyclical histories of trauma, abuse, and violence and robbery, and like by default of repeating these patterns, we are over time normalizing them. So at this point, I really don't know if there's anything we can do. We've kind of we've broken our bones and we've reset them in a very contorted, dysfunctional way. And I don't, first of all, I guess you can try to break the bones again and reset them, but that's going to take a lot of work, and it's not guaranteed to heal in the right way anymore, because once you suffer an injury, you deform that part of your body. You can work towards repairing and healing it, but it takes a lot of commitment and work. I just don't think our world is on the same page about wanting that and needing that. And without the solidarity and commitment to resetting these broken ass bones, I don't think there is hope. That's my thought. It's not something the minority can do. It's something that the majority needs to do. And the majority is refusing to do it. So the first step in healing is, how do you grow the solidarity? Which is something that I'm learning at my own union now too, is how do you grow the solidarity in the face of an enemy who doesn't want you to grow your solidarity, because growing your solidarity means destroying the status quo and fucking up the power structure that they very much would like to uphold and maintain. Power structures, little belly shakes. Fred, you're like those pinup girls, like Marilyn Monroe, who goes to soldiers abroad in the midst of battle, and you just like perform and be sexy and cute and talented, and you make them forget about all the world's troubles. Thank you so much for your sacrifice. All right, folks, that's all I got for you today. Hopelessness and Fred. I hope you enjoyed our company. Hi, babe. Hi. And I hope you have a great rest of your weekend. I'm not sure if I'm going to go live tomorrow. I'm hoping to take a walk to Brooklyn maybe, so maybe no live tomorrow, but I'll see you sometime. Yeah? Take your vitamins. Get some more sleep. You know the deal.